like totally on a different energy level this morning. I'm on day 3 of the 3-day refresh, and I didn't wake up early. I slept in, and so I'm on my coffee. And normally I wake up and have energized, so I'm like feeling very different this morning. But it's good. I feel relaxed. It was like raining and thundering this morning, and that was like so comfy. And the kids were in my bed and we snuggled. It was like so therapeutic. I needed it. So basically, Sammy, I love that. I love that I can call you Sammy now. So basically what today is so I will be doing a new coach call today for Tracy, who's jumping on right now, at 4:30 Central Time. Are you Central Time? Yes, right? Okay. So I'll be doing 4:30 Central Time, a new coach call with Tracy. You can jump on at that time and we'll do your new coach call at the same time, or you and I can schedule another time tomorrow or Saturday, if that works better for you. So basically, just really quick to give you guys a rundown. So you come into the team, you get that 5-part welcome email and you get introduced, and then you start working through that 5-part welcome email. And the whole point, and this is good for anyone to hear that's listening to the recording, or Evelyn too, the whole point in handing you a document when you enroll and not just getting on the phone with you right away is that it gives you resourcefulness right away. It shows you that there's tools there where you can find answers right away. And it also takes the pressure off of the coach, being either myself or Evelyn or you or whoever in the future, thinking that like sometimes when we enroll our first customer, or when we enroll our first coach, or not even our first, our 100th, it doesn't matter. We do care so much about helping other people, and we do love teaching other people, that we take on the responsibility of trying to teach it all. And that just doesn't serve you at all, because then that's the expectation. I'm sure you've heard the quote, like, however you teach people to treat you, they will. So if you teach them in the beginning that you're going to just answer and do all the things, then that's how it's going to be, which isn't a bad thing. But resourcefulness is a huge part of confidence in this business. Because when we think that our coach needs to give us all the answers, then we feel less confident in our ability. But when we know, like, oh, I saw that in the office and I remember there's a training tab and I looked at that, and you remember where things are, it builds your confidence in the business. Same thing with new coach or with new customers. I actually don't go through their program and their eating plan with them right away. I put them in the Follow Through on You Facebook group, and I say, go through the unit section, read all of that information, then let me know when you're done. We can get on a call at that point and I can help you with anything. But what I'm teaching them right away is that I will be there for them. And yes, if they need me, I will help them. I'm willing to get on the phone. I'm willing to do a live video. I'm willing to do whatever. However, they have all the tools and the resources at their fingertips too, and they know exactly where to find it. So it just gives them that confidence that like they're supported. Because a lot of times when people join you, even as a customer, sometimes they think it's like, it's the person that's going to make the difference for them, when really it's always them and their tools that's going to make the difference, right? So you guys have the 5-part welcome email. And then what I do is get on a new coach call. The new coach call is simply later with Tracy. That's why we could do it all together if you have time. I know you have like a life and a family. So if it doesn't work, we'll do it tomorrow or the next day, whenever it works for you. But basically when we get on that call, it's not even about diving into all of the things of what is this and what is that, because you're kind of learning that on your own already, but it's helping to clarify those questions. And then just, this is a really overwhelming time when you start as a coach, because you want to know all the things and you want to be good at it and you want to make sure you have the right answers and you don't want to feel silly. You want to feel confident. So I've found that I've done new coach calls in the past where I give everyone all the things. Like, I'm pretty sure I did that to Evelyn. I was like, Evelyn, this is what Emerald Rank is, and this is what Success Club is, and this is what this is. And she loves all the information, but it was probably overwhelming at the same time, where when you can take someone and allow them to know they have all the information at their fingertips, but what I'm going to do for you today is be really excited and just get you focused on what this week's goal is. we're just going to focus on this week's goal right now, how you're posting this week, how you're showing up this week, what your goal is this week based on your desire for this business, then this is something that's helping you guys right now too. As I'm talking with coaches, you can relate this to customers as well. It builds their confidence right away. The quicker you can build a customer's confidence in the journey, and the quicker you can build a coach's confidence in the journey, the more successful they're going to be. Because as in human nature, we know that first week is exciting. Week 2 of any program, of any push group that you're trying to like achieve a goal of anything, that week 2 can be really difficult because the momentum, the excitement of something different, it starts feeling a little bit harder. So that confidence is really important to kind of build right away. So then after that, there's a new coach group that starts, and we'll get into all that later, but I just kind of wanted to give you an outline of that, and so that you guys kind of know what that's all about. So you can just message me and let me know later, like if that time works for you. And if it doesn't, it'll be on a Zoom call just like this. And if it doesn't, we'll just set up our own time. So that is what that call is. Now the Goal Getters is our team page, right? The Goal Getters is our team page. So that's where you're going to see team calls posted, recordings posted, groups posted. When we have like sneak peek into coachings, you'll see those posted there. You'll see different live videos in there and support. That's all things team. I add discount coaches there too, like I did with you, Sammy, because a lot of times when you add discount coaches in there, they feel a bigger part of the community, for one, which helps them to lean in a little bit more, but also sometimes it sparks that interest in wanting to coach when they see the bigger connection. Because I really do feel like there's a difference in community and connection between being a challenger, being a discount coach, and being a coach. And being a coach is like the ultimate accountability. Like if I wasn't a coach, I don't think I'd ever be as much of a follow through person as I am right now, because I never was. So that's our team page. The Follow Through on You Facebook group is our community page where you can add people in. It's not really an active challenge group, but there are posts in there weekly for recipes. We talk about groups that are coming up. The unit section is there to help people get started, but it's more of a support to whatever BOD group we're running at the time. So right now we're in that May BOD group. Just so you guys know, that group switches its name and its header every month. We won't be setting up a new group. It'll just change so that you don't have to re-add people in there. The only time we set up a new group is, one, if it's like clean week, we're running like a free group or something like that, or two, if it's a launch. Whenever there's a launch of a new program, it's really fun to do like a group just around that. So there's that. So the little pods that you guys are in, this little pod right here, and this is why I'm explaining it, is that this 2020 new coach pod is for coaches that either started in 2020, or maybe like Evelyn, she was a coach for a while and then was really focused on moving and school and life and everything. And with this quarantine, she's like, hey, I'm going to lean back in for a little while. So then she popped back into this pod with us. It's basically a place where people who are kind of at the same place in their business, you guys can ask questions in there, and your question is probably everyone else's question, and I can answer it in one place, or we can get on a call. So it's more beneficial than me saying, hey, everyone on the team come get on this call and let's just do this Q&A, because people that have a successful business may be asking questions, right? And like people that are like high up or something, and it doesn't really pertain to everyone. So this is good because they're just kind of focused calls, and I do them about once about every week or two in there. So just to kind of explain that. So now it's just kind of open. So if anybody has any questions right now on what you should be focusing on, sometimes that's what I'll kind of look at, is the rest of the month and how we're focusing. Then I can go over that. Evelyn, did you have any questions right now or anything?
No, I don't think so. I just wanted to kind of tune in to make sure I'm not missing too much.
Yeah.
I don't follow 100% on everything, but I know that the main thing that we have coming up is the Clean Week, which we can't really invite to anymore right now. There's the coach sneak peek every week, right?
So yes, there's a sneak peek on Friday, this Friday, and then there's a sneak peek at the end of the month. Yeah.
And then we have just June to invite to starting next week.
Yes. Yep. So with the clean week, I'm glad you brought that up, because of Beachbody being so behind on their shipping. Some people are probably not going to get the clean week on time for the 18th. So what we did was I started, and I'm going to go in live in Goal Getters today and remind everyone of this too. I started, we can add people in, like starting now. There's a group and I can reshare it in there. But what's going to happen is prep week, which some programs have a prep week where for a week you watch posts and you literally are just preparing for day one. So prep week starts, it's actually a full week. So instead of putting it in the unit section or in like a file, we are doing the full week of prep starting the 18th. But I'm telling anyone that has their stuff, they can actually start on the 18th. So anybody that's ready can start on the 18th, but it's going to be, the posts are going to be more geared towards prep, because a lot of people will probably have it by the 25th, but the 25th is Memorial Day. So I don't know how many people are really going to want to do that. So this is what I'm going to do. Pudge and Missy, leave the kitty alone. So what I'm going to do is I have it scheduled for prep week starting the 18th, and then all in for the full week starting the 25th. And then I'm going to do another week scheduled the week after that, which would be what? Let me look. So that if people, let's say they do get it on like the 24th, but they really don't want to do it the 25th and they'd prefer to start on a Monday or whatever, there's just plenty of opportunities for people to start when they feel comfortable.
Okay. Yeah, I think the 31st is the next Monday.
Yeah, the 1st, it looks like. Yep. Perfect. So we'll do an extra week so people can just kind of start when they want, which will kind of be, different. But as long as coaches are consistently posting in there, even when like we're not, like even just our normal workouts, the energy will be in there and people jump in, and I think it'll work out good. So yes, right now the focus is inviting to the sneak peek tomorrow. There are 2 different sneak peeks, and I'm going to post the group in the Goal Getters today. The reason there's 2 is because we have 2 small pods of people that are pushing for Diamond, and they're hosting sneak peeks together. I am in one of them, so I can post the one I'm in. And then there's another. So really it would just depend on like if you really connect with a certain group of them more, like they're more your people, then you know that they're going to talk to your people more than the other. So both groups are going to be similar, but they're tomorrow. Pudge, no. I don't trust him I just gave him his medicine, and I don't really trust him when I give it to him because I don't know how he's feeling. And he like is looking at the kitten like she's a snack. She is not a snack. She's like playing with a ball, and he's like, okay, so we have the sneak peek tomorrow, and then we have, what I'm doing is I am saying that we're opening enrollment for the June group on Saturday. I think that sometimes we open it, it's my fault. I like forget. And then by the time I'm ready to open it, it's only a week before it's starting. And then it's like a rush. So I think right after the sneak peek, so we're done talking about it. So the 16th, you can start talking about like the June group. We don't have the name of it. So just so you guys know, I have a membership with this girl called the Mompreneur VA, and she puts out the scripts of what is you can post in your groups every month, but she doesn't upload them until the week before. So I don't know the name or anything, but just talk about, your June accountability group, your June whatever. So that enrollment will start the 16th. And with enrollment, a lot of times once you get those conversations going, for those of you that aren't super confident with the conversations, I want you to either share them with me, or if you're comfortable, invite me to come in there with you in your conversations. And that can be really simple. Just if you look in the Goal Getters under the unit section, there's 2 units that are really helpful. There's your first week as a coach, week 1 as a coach, week 2 as a coach. And it actually gives you some verbiage on how to get people to, like, if you're like, they are interested and they ask you what it's about, you can say, you know what, all I know is that it's a lot of fun. It's totally leveling up my game in fitness and I'm really enjoying it. But if you don't mind, if I'm going to grab my coach and put her in a 3-way conversation with us because I'm new, I'm excited for you. She can answer the questions and I can learn a little bit. Are you okay? Or is that okay? So you could either put me in a conversation with you, or you can, if you're like me, and I'm definitely this person where I like to just be the one having the conversation, then you could screenshot it, show me, and I could just tell you what I would say in response. And then you can have that. And that practicing of conversation is really important. But what you'll do is, as you get people who do commit and we're moving them towards some sort of product or some sort of thing they're going to do, whether it's the 2-week trial, whether it's a challenge pack, whether it's just Energize, whatever it is, you're just going to make a list and write their names down and hold tight. And about the week before, you can start adding people into, well, as they get their product, you can add them into the follow through on You group where they can go through the units. And then about the week before, we add them into the actual app. But you'll get more information on that later. But yeah, so enrollment for the June group will start on the 16th. So then next week, that's kind of the focus. I'm just going to pull up the calendar really quick, and then that'll be easy for us here.
Is it raining out there?
Yes.
Aw.
Ryan, is someone bothering you in your butt?
Is this from Itchies?
All right, let's see. Photos. There we go. Oh, I also put it in the announcement section, so I can just go to announcements. So the announcements in the goal getters, just so you guys know, if you ever want to work, like go in there and do some work, which you'll learn about later if you're not sure what that is, you can meet people in there. The May calendar's there. And then also when you do anything that you want to celebrate, you'll post underneath this May thing. Like if you sell something, or if you just inspired someone, or someone gave you positive feedback, like celebrating every little thing is important. Our workout Zoom, where we work out, like people are typically in there more in the morning from like 4:30 a.m. until like 11, 12, but people meet in there in the afternoon and the evening sometimes too. This is the workout Zoom, and the password, you can meet in there. You can have your customers meet you in there. You can do whatever you want with that. But let's go ahead and look at this calendar. So yes, so we're opening up, it's not on here, but we're opening up the enrollment for June on the 16th. So then Clean Week will be starting there. We have a team call. There is a Coach Rank Glow Up call on the 21st, which is next Thursday. But that call is basically where when you come in, I'm running the coach level this month, and we just talk about things at your level that can help. Maybe it's strengthening a system that you want to have, or, you know, talking about inviting, or talking about conversations. And then it looks like, so it's basically talking about the June group the rest of the month, and then the next sneak peek is on the 27th. So I will personally transition after tomorrow to talking about the open enrollment for June, probably until about Friday the 22nd. And then over the weekend, probably I really only like to invite to sneak peeks like the few days before. I think too much before, like you lose people in the waiting game of when the sneak peek is going to start. So the 24th is probably then when I will transition to inviting and only really talking about coaching, and even all the little things that it's doing for me, even with you that have just started, even if it's just new excitement in your life. Like that's enough. People just need new excitement in their life sometimes. That's a big enough story. You don't need anything more than where you are right now to inspire and attract anyone. So the 24th through the 27th here, we'll be focusing on talking about, you know, getting people in that sneak peek. I don't have that planned yet, but if anyone at any time is like, you know what, I'd like to share my transformation in a post, or I'd like to, you know, whatever, just reach out and let me know, and we can always showcase that in there. Or you could even, if you're comfortable at some point, maybe not this time for some of you, but if you're comfortable in the future, like you absolutely will want to start doing some of the lives with us in there when you're comfortable. So sneak peek into coaching there, and then I'll transition on that Thursday back to closing up everybody for the June group. Yes. And that's pretty much it there. So does anyone have any other questions right now? Tracy and Sammy, I know that we will have a lot to kind of talk about later, but based Evelyn and Becca, anything that I can kind of answer right now for you guys? Becca is rocking it with her. Like, I don't even know how you're getting your leg up that high when you're pregnant. Your pictures, I'm like, oh my gosh.
I can only do it on one side.
Isn't that hilarious?
Yeah, I don't know.
It must be the way the baby's positioned, like your balance or something.
I was in gymnastics for 6 years when I was younger, so I do have a little bit of extra flexibility
There you go.
that most people don't have. But but other than that,
That's awesome. Did you have anything that I could answer for you right now?
I don't think so off the top of my head. I totally forgot about this and am at work right now, so
Okay.
I wanted to come in and listen, but didn't.
Yeah.
I don't have anything that I can think of at the moment.
Okay. All right, cool. I will just touch on a little bit something that Becca said to me yesterday, which I think can kind of go to all of you. So in this, she's like, I'm loving everything, and she's feeling good and she's loving the process, but she's still just a little, like, inviting is a little scary to her. That's so normal. There are days where if I'm not in the right mindset, I sit down and I can't bring myself to invite. And I've been doing this for 7 years. Inviting is all about mindset. You have to think of it this way too. Let's say you're having, and some of you have heard this analogy before, but let's say you're having like a big, my stepson's turning 18 on Sunday. We're not having a big party because we can't right now, but let's say that we were. If I talked about it on social media and I talked about it out loud, but I never formally invited people to come, a lot of people wouldn't come, but they'd be wondering why they weren't invited. They'd be wondering if they could have been invited. They'll be wondering what it's like, right? Inviting is a big piece. And so often we think that inviting feels invasive. And inviting and being invasive, they have nothing to do anything. Like, unless that's your mindset. If that's your mindset, then that's how it's going to feel. So I like to say this: I'm not going to tell you to do a certain amount of invites a day. I'm not going to tell you, because your goals are all different. I'm not going to tell you that you have to do, 10 invites and invite to the business and all of this. You know your goals and what is going to get you to where you want to go. But I will tell you this: inviting, if you get your mindset in the right place and you come from a place, for instance, Tracy, I've been inviting her to this for so long, and I couldn't invite her to this when I didn't feel authentic about, like, in my mindset about why I felt like it would be so great for her. Because for Tracy, I feel like this community is so for her. The people that, like, are on our team and her, like, I just know that they'll all, like, mesh so well, and she'll just fit right in. I know that it's going to help her feel this sense of purpose that I don't think she's lacking, but I think, like, as a mother, and we have kids similar ages, I just see a lot of myself in her, and I just, so, know that this would be so great for her. So every time that I reached out to Tracy, I had to make sure I was coming from that place, and it never felt invasive. It just felt authentic. So what my biggest piece of advice to you is, when you sit down and you're going to invite, just ask yourself right now, do I feel like this is invasive, or do I feel like this is authentic? And if you feel like it's invasive, then what I'll do is I'll be like, why do I even want to invite to this right now? Why do I even want to invite people to join this challenge group? What will it do for them? What's it really doing for me right now? Or what is this coaching really doing for me right now? And when I can say that and just write down a couple points and feel like really grateful for it and authentic about the fact that I do believe other people need to experience this, then my invite doesn't feel invasive. And I often lead with exactly how I'm feeling. So I will literally say, hey, Sammy, I am a little fearful that you're going to feel like you can't tell me no, or like maybe this is a little pushy, but I really want you to know this is just coming from the heart. I know you've tried coaching before. I know that maybe it didn't feel good where you landed before, but I just truly feel like you would be so great at this and you would love it on our team. And I just would love if you would listen to a sneak peek and just hear it out. Are you willing to do that? Like, that's authentic. And that's what and she says, yes. And that's what I really feel, but if you're just like shooting out an invite because you have to get them out, it's going to feel invasive. If you're not coming from that place of gratitude and knowing why you really like it and why you really think it's a good thing for them. Or exploit what the big thing too is, I don't want to sound salesy, or exploiting relationships for people I haven't talked to forever or are new to me. Yes. So I think as you grow, like as you continue to post more and as you continue to like talk about more things, especially like when the baby comes and you start sharing like your journey of transitioning from a mom of 2 to 3 and they're all like little and you know, you have these, you're going to attract other people that are going to be attracted to your post and to you for other reasons. And as more people like and connect with you, you're going to see that when you make certain posts, like not every post I feel this way, but if I make a post and I feel like I said something about the community in it or something about coaching in it and it got like a lot of likes because maybe I was holding Oliver upside down. So people are really liking the fact that I'm holding Oliver upside down, but I said something. Then I can message them and authentically feel okay with saying, hey, oh my gosh, I don't want this to, and I'll say this, I don't want this to seem like it's coming out of left field. I know we haven't chatted in a while. I hope that you're doing well. I just saw that you liked that post of me holding Oliver upside down, and I'm sure you were just loving the picture, but in the content, I did actually say something about coaching. I don't know if you've watched my journey at all or if you're interested, but I would love to share it with you. You're definitely somebody I would think we would have a lot of fun doing this with. Did you read that? Were you liking it for that, or were you just loving the photo? That's an invite. I didn't even have to say, do you want to come watch? I just asked, was it the photo or was it this? They may say, you know what, I didn't even read it, but yeah, tell me more. So that's a way that people I haven't connected with in a while, or that I haven't even connected to at all. Sometimes I'll even say, hi, I am totally not trying to be the weirdo that's never talked to you, sending you a message on Instagram right now, but I kind of am. And I just want to, you know, I don't want to feel that way, but I did see that you liked this post and I do really love the vibe of your page. So I would feel like if I didn't ask you if you'd be interested in listening to this event that I have going on Friday, that I'd be doing both of us a disservice. And they can say to me then, I didn't even read anything. I just thought your hair was pretty. I get that a lot. And I'm like, thanks. Thank you. I mean, I appreciate that. But, you know, but then the conversation starts. Then you can start talking about family, occupation, recreation. And you guys are going to learn about that later, the form. So just a way to kind of flow the conversation, to connect with people and just get to know them. But it is a lot about connections, Becca. So if you feel, and sorry, I think you're talking, but if you feel like you don't have a lot of people that you could comfortably invite, it's typically not because you don't have the people to invite. It's because you're not connecting just authentically enough, not about the business. And, you know, social media and network marketing is all about connecting in general. Connecting and just being someone on social media that's having fun and sharing and connecting and saying thanks and commenting when people comment back. And then when those invites come out, you know, they can feel more authentic. But we'll get into that. Hi. Do you like kitties? Do you like kitties? Look at this little tiny kitty. Are you ready? Oh, she's so furry. She's this little girl, but she kind of has a big tummy because she eats a lot, right? She looks like one of those dolls, like with the big eyes at Jewel at the grocery store. You know what I'm saying? Those like, do you like doggies too? You do. I know your family likes doggies. This is Missy. She can't see because her hair's too long. We can't get her into the groomer. Right? Thank you. Okay, so I hope that helped. Becca, did that kind of help with the invites? It's more of like, oh, go ahead. Don't worry, you can listen to it later. But yeah, it's more about like connecting, having fun. If you can literally authentically have fun with your post and what you're doing and learn to not care about what others are going to think, you are going to be unbelievably blown away by the amount of people you attract. So often we're so scared to make a post because what is this person and this person going to think, when we actually make that bold post, we attract 100 others and who really cared about those two opinions. Like, it's not natural. I didn't start coaching and start dancing in my kitchen like a crazy maniac, whipping my hair around in a sports bra and shorts. Like that didn't come comfortable for me. But as I grew, I realized the more energy and the more confidence I have and the more fun I'm just having, the more other people, like, who cares? The people who do think something of me, I don't care, because I'm having so much fun and I am helping so many other people. So it's kind of just, that. What about people who watch the stories but are not commenting or liking? So when I go through my stories and I look at the very last story to see who's been watching, and what I'll do is I will send them a message, and it'll just say, if I've never talked to them before, it'll say, hey, I just wanted to connect because I saw that you watched my stories today. Or I saw you on my stories today, so I just wanted to connect. I hope that's okay. What is it that you do? I'm just connecting with them. And I'm asking them right away something about them where they're going to reciprocate and probably ask me what I do too. And I don't need to go into depth. All I can say is, I'm a health and wellness coach. I was a hairstylist for a long time, and now I'm just surviving quarantine, trying not to drink 20,000 bottles of wine. Right? And I can just be myself, and I don't have to drop any bombs or any invites right now. I'm just trying to see if we connect. And then through that, we might talk more then about family. And after that, we might talk more about, whatever. And after about 4 or 5 messages with this person, I'm either going to know I'm comfortable inviting them right now, or I'm not. And I don't need to force it. I can say, listen, I got to go. The kids are climbing up the curtains, but I've really enjoyed talking to you. I know that I just literally met you, but I don't know if you saw in my stories, I talked about this sneak peek. If you're interested, I would love for you to come in and listen. You just seem like somebody that would really, we get along, and I'd love for you to come listen in. Does that interest you? Let me know. I'll talk to you later. Gotta go. Like, that's okay. That's a great invite too. So that's connecting. If there's somebody that I've connected with before and they're continuously watching my story and I've already had that conversation with them, then I will reach out and I'll say, hey, I know we haven't connected in a while, or, or maybe we haven't talked about this before. I like to always have a call to action talking about something I'm offering either on my page or in my stories, because then it's a really easy way for me to invite people to listen. So let's just use Tracy as an example. She's watching my stories. She watches my stories. I don't connect with her all the time because she's watching my stories, because that's just awkward. But every once in a while, I'm like thinking of you, because I am, because we've been, connected for so long. And then when I know that, like, I just put a sneak peek. Where's Lady? I think she's by the stairs. She's under the table. When I know that I just put something up in the sneak peek and I know that Tracy's on my heart for it, then when I'm going through my stories and I see her name, I can say, hey, Tracy, I know we haven't chatted in a while. And I know we've talked about this before and it wasn't the right time, but I just have to ask again. We have a sneak peek coming up Friday, and I would love for you to just listen in once again and tell me if this is for you. It's just on my heart. It's okay if it's not, but I just had to ask. I saw your name in my stories. Just had to ask again. So that is a way that I would connect there. Now, if it's somebody that I've never talked before ever in my stories, there's someone that's just watched my stories, I've never connected with them, then I'm either going to send them that connection of, hey, what is it you do? Or if I have made a bold, like, call to action to something, like talked in my stories about a group, talked in my stories about coaching that day, then I can say to them, hey, I know we haven't talked before and this might feel weird, but I saw you watched my stories, and today in my stories, I did talk about this coaching event. I don't want to assume that it's for you. I also don't want to assume it's not for you. Did you watch that set of stories? Is that something you're interested in listening to? I'd love to add you. Let me know. That's how comfortable and like just normal it can be. But so often we make it so like black and white of, would you like to do this? And then it feels weird. So Becca can listen to that recording when she's done later, that part. But so I'll just end it with this, unless you guys have other questions, since I know you guys are, we have a whole new coach call conversation to have with you guys. But the biggest thing that's moved me forward in my business is I just make sure I'm having fun. This business 100% is first and foremost about you and your journey. And if anyone starts making it about their goals or anything else, then you just don't even focus there. This is about you, your health and fitness, your family, what you want to do for you. And as long as you're having fun and you're staying true to what you want to do, then you're going to naturally attract the people that want the same thing as you, right? But you have to have fun and you have to show up. And I will say that the biggest thing that's moved my business forward is always just connecting as much as I can. So about 20 minutes a day, at least since I've started this business, I set aside a time where I can just connect people who are commenting and liking my stuff, where I can connect to them, people who are, saying things on polls, connecting with no expectation of anything else. This business, I feel like I've always just really focused on connecting and getting to know other people and not putting my idea of what I want on them, but allowing them to just be inspired and see it and maybe want it. And then it's mutual, So the biggest way that I connect with people, and this is what I would just want to share with you guys, I'm sure Becca's heard this before, is forming. This is the best way that you can do it. And this is short and sweet. And then we can kind of jump off and talk more about stuff later on your calls. But forming is the best way to start conversations or to connect with people. So they'll say, if I connect with someone and I'm like, hey, how's everything going? I saw you watch my stories. I see we haven't connected before. What is it that you do? So forming is an acronym, I think is what it's called, for family, occupation, recreation, message. So you're basically talking to the other person about their family, about what they do for fun, about what they do as a job. And in the time that you're asking these 3 questions and they're asking them back, you're going to get a good feel for if they're giving you one word answers, you can't invite them. That's not a good space to throw an invite. But if they're talking to you and you guys have similar sense of humor, then it should be really comfortable for you to get to the end of talking about that stuff and just, hey, I don't know if this interests you. And I know this is kind of out of nowhere. We just met, but would you have any interest in hearing about this? So that is family, occupation, recreation, and then message. So it can go as simple as this. I could reach out to Becca and say, hi, Becca, I just saw that you were watching my stories today. Your little guys are so freaking adorable, and I see you're expecting another. When is your 3rd due? Family. She's going to say, hi, oh yes, I'm due in, I should know this, but I don't remember. I'm due at this time. It's going to be crazy to have the 3 little ones, but I'm so excited. And I'll be like, yes, that's amazing. What do you do for work? Are you getting a maternity leave? Occupation, right? Are you getting a maternity leave? Yeah, I am getting a maternity leave, but I actually really don't even want to go back to work. I would just love to stay home. Now, I don't know if this is true. I'm just saying this stuff. I would just love to stay home. Or yes, I'm getting a 12-week maternity leave and that's so awesome. Or, oh, I'm just getting a 6-week maternity leave. I wish I could take more, but I can't afford it. Whatever it is, okay? Occupation. And I can say, oh, yeah, I totally get that. I went through the same thing with my kids. And that's why I started actually doing what I'm doing right now, is so I had some extra money and I could take a maternity leave. Because as a stylist, you don't get paid if you're not there. So I totally understand that. Well, that's cool. Have you guys been doing a lot? Have you been having fun in the quarantine? What have you been up to? I could say that, or right there, I could send the invite. Anyway, at that point, she can answer me and she'll probably ask me too. And then I can say, oh yeah, it's been good. Speaking of the kids, they're kind of going crazy right now. I got to run. I often am the first person to leave the conversation. That's less salesy and that's less pressure to them than me just trying to continue the talk. You don't need to continue talking just because they are. I'm often the first person to leave the conversation. All right, well, listen, I love connecting with you and hearing about your little one. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what your baby looks like when he or she is born. I got to run, but listen, something that you said just made me think that maybe you would love to hear about what I do, because honestly, I started when I was pregnant, and I think that it would just be such a game changer for you. It'd give you some purpose and some extra money and some fun, and help you with that goal that you kind of talked about earlier. So if you're interested, I'd love to share the information. No pressure at all. There's an event Friday. Can I put you in there? So the key here is that I'm ending it with, can I put you in there, or are you interested? Not let me know, because people won't let you know. So you can see how it's like when you're connecting with others, and I just do that a lot. I connect with people because I genuinely want to. I learn very quickly. It's not a 5-hour conversation. It's like a 5-message conversation. We learn about family. We learn about what they do. I learn about how they're doing during quarantine. I use whatever season it is to ask, how was Easter, St. Patrick's Day, quarantine, 4th of July. I use a season because it's not like, so what do you do for fun? Like that's like online dating, and that's weird. Then it gets weird. So I use like a holiday or whatever's around, which right now it just happens to be the quarantine, right? So I use that to just talk about something like, what have you guys been doing fun to stay sane in this time? And then I might use my humor, like besides drinking like all the wine or whatever. And then, excuse me, what are you doing, sir? You're going to go outside? It's cold and rainy. That's your decision. He has 1 foot in and 1 foot out. But then, it's just really quick back and forth. And then I am the one who ends the conversation, and I can say, listen, I just loved talking with you. Or I can say, if I didn't feel like I loved talking to them, then I don't need to invite them. But whether they say something that makes me think this would be good for them or not, I can end the conversation after learning those few things and say, hey, I just really like chatting with you today. I don't know if that's awkward or not, but I run these groups and I think that you'd be really fun to have in there with me. A buddy system's fun, and you seem like somebody who would be, your energy would be whatever in there. Sorry, I'm distracted right now because the door is open and the kitten is somewhere. Oh, she's on the shelf. But yeah, so that is like a big one for me, is just connecting. And so we'll get into all of that more later. You guys are going to go through a new coach group where you learn more about that, and we like layer that stuff on, and it makes it really easy. So right now we'll talk later about kind of what your focus is or whatever. So does anyone else have any questions right now? No? Sammy, how did this feel? Different than your other experience so far? Yeah? Good. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
my previous group, it was like, okay, you need to have at least 10 people that you're just messaging, like cold calling.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, you need to invite, and I need to see your list of 10 people, and they have to be different than last week. And it was just like,
You're like,
not real. I'm like, yeah, thanks, but no.
Right.
Thanks.
Yeah, I totally get it. That's how some teams run. Hey, you got to close this because Lady wants to go outside. Do you want to take a picture with us real quick? Come here. Look. Lady, I think she's somewhere. Look. You're saying hi? Say hello.
Hello. Superman.
You are Superman. All right. So at the end of team calls of any sort, you guys, social proof is huge. Social proof meaning like we can talk all day on social media about this team and what it's like, but if people don't see, if people can't see that like there is that, other piece, then it's just not as real. So at the end of every team call or anything, we always do a picture or a boomerang. So we're going to do that real quick. Ready? Can you go like this? Or do that. That's fine too. Yeah, or that. Ow, but not that. Look at, she's waving. That's Rain. Say hi. Can you say hi? All right, ready? And then I'll tag you on social media. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, guess what? It was a picture. We need a boomerang. Pictures don't work as well. Boomerangs are fun. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Perfect. All right, I'll tag you guys. And I'll talk to you later. Sammy, just let me know if that 4:30 time works for you. If not, we can do it like tomorrow or Saturday or whatever. Okay. All right. Bye.